This is a help video to get you used to running parents' evenings online via Microsoft Teams. I've been asked to do it because I've already done this actually. I contacted my tutor group via Teams towards the tail end of lockdown instead of making phone calls, and I invited the parents along, and really that was a trial run of this, so I can report, having done 3 or 4 hours of it already, that it does work. And the parents find that there's no issues with them connecting, so from their point of view it's very easy, and hopefully after this video and a little bit of practice it will be for us as well. The first thing then is how we connect to our own parents' evening. So there's different methods, use whichever one works best for you. So one of them is that you can log in to RTL and click on the agent button, and then you can click on your own Go to Parents Evening meeting. And if you click on that, it'll open in the browser, and it'll suggest that it carries on in the browser if it wants to, but really you should favour opening the Microsoft Teams app because the experience will be much smoother, there's more functionality, it's less likely to crash. So if you just click on open in the Teams app, it'll open in the Teams app. A different method that we could use instead is to simply open up Microsoft Teams and click on the calendar, and then if you just skip through until you find one of the meetings, there's one, you just need to click on it and then click the join button at the top, and again it'll open up the meeting. One final method that you can use if you want to is to go to your calendar, and in your calendar, on the school calendar, if you flick through to the date of the parents' evening, you can left click the parents' evening and then click the 3 dots and say duplicate, and that'll put a copy of the parents' evening onto your own calendar. And then if you pop back to RTL, you can right click and copy this link, and then you can just paste it into the location box and save that, and now your parents' evening will be on your own calendar, and when you click on it, it'll now give you a link that takes you to the meeting, and you can go through that for each of the parents' evenings on the calendar that applies to you, and then it'll always be there on your own Google Calendar if you want it. Just before we move any further, while this screen is here, can I just emphasize the importance of Mike's last instruction on his sheet of clicking on this meeting options link here, which will open up this page, and you really do need to make sure that this bypass lobby link is set to only me. That's the only setting that will make your parents' evening go horribly wrong if it's not set to only me, so you just need to make sure that that's definitely done. Okay, so when you open the meeting, you haven't actually joined it yet, you're just getting ready to join it. So you're going to want to have your microphone and your camera on, and then you need to have a little think about the background that's behind you. So the background that's behind me now is fairly neutral, but you can, if you want to, click on this link here, and that will give you a selection of things. So you probably want to pick something neutral rather than the balloons or Minecraft, but if you just pick a generic background, you can see that you can't really tell that I've been cropped. I don't need a green screen to make that work. Also have a little think about your lighting. At the moment you can see that I'm near to a window, and so during the daytime when I start my parents' evening, if I was sitting here this would be quite light, but as the evening goes on it's going to get dark outside, and you need to make sure that you're lit by a light that's in front of you rather than behind you, otherwise you're going to go very shadowy in the middle of your parents' evening. So just have a little think about how you're going to light yourself up. If you're in one of the classrooms at school it'll be fine, but if you're at home just think about maybe getting a desk lamp. So your background settings were just this little icon here before you join the meeting. Okay, so once you're happy with your background, be it your own or something else, you then just need to click on the Join Now button, and that will open up the meeting, and you'll be the only person in it at the moment. And so really you're just sitting here waiting for somebody to turn up. So back when I did this in the summer, this was a bit of a scary moment. This was maximum stress. I'd been doing video meetings for the whole summer, with students and staff, and so I was very comfortable with the technology, but even I still felt very uncomfortable sitting here looking at myself waiting for the first person to arrive. And it didn't help at all that the first person turned out to be a no-show and the second person turned up late. So by halfway through the second appointment I was definitely worried that I'd done something horribly wrong, but luckily I hadn't, and it does work okay in the end. Okay, so what will you see when somebody turns up? So I have a pretend parent. So you'll be sitting here, your screen will look like this. When somebody tries to join your meeting, you will get a message like this just to say that somebody is waiting in the lobby. So it's a good idea to actually have the lobby turned on, which you can also do by clicking on the participants button here at the beginning. So if we take a look inside the lobby, that's you, you're in the meeting, and then there will be a list of people waiting here. So hopefully there will never be a list of very many people waiting here, but what you just need to do is when you're ready to accept them, just click on the tick button. Now I'm not quite sure what order they'll appear here, whether it's alphabetical or time order, but either way it's possibly not going to match your own parents' evening appointment list. So just check that you let them in the order that you want to let them in. So you just click on the tick button when you want to let them in, and they will then get a message on their own screen saying that they've been accepted to the meeting. So then they'll be able to see you and you'll be able to see them. I haven't put their camera on because you'll just get a side view of my head from the other laptop. Okay, so you'll be able to have a conversation with the parent, and the student might be there as well. And when you are ready to finish your conversation, hopefully they will naturally come to the conversation will naturally come to an end and they'll leave. But if they forget to click on the button that ejects them from the meeting, you can push them out of the meeting as well. I would suggest not in the middle of a sentence, but if you click on the three dots next to their name, you can just remove them from the meeting. So you just click on that. During your meeting with the first person, probably you'll have had a message to say that somebody else is waiting in the lobby, and you'll be able to see them waiting down here as well. So you'll be able to know whether it's time to cut your appointment short or not. If there's nobody waiting in the lobby, there's no pressure for you to finish the appointment necessarily. Just bear in mind that you can't temporarily let someone in from the lobby. So if you just wanted to have a quick conversation to say, I'm just running 5 minutes behind, if you let them in from the lobby, when they leave, they won't go back into the lobby, but they will get a message on their screen that says they can rejoin. So you might just want to tell them, if you're going to do that, that they need to click the rejoin link. Otherwise, you won't be able to admit them back into the meeting because they won't be in the lobby. And I think that's it. At the end of the evening, when you're done and you don't want to talk to any more parents, you just click the leave button up here, and you will leave the meeting, and regardless of who clicks on the link after that, they can't access the meeting. They'll just be stuck in the lobby and they won't be able to talk to anyone. Okay, I would suggest very much that you maybe pair up or even trio up with other members of staff and just practice this maybe. You can go to your Microsoft Teams calendar and click on this meeting like I've done now, any of them, and click on join, and you can practice this. You can send somebody else your link. If you just you can get it from here like you did before, copy the link into an email and send it to one of your colleagues, and they can pretend to be a parent, and then you can do the same for them, and it'll just ease you into using the software and the technology and make sure that you're comfortable when you come to do it for real. For the Year 13 Parents' Evening in particular, if you're going to be doing the meeting in pairs anyway, you're going to have to email the link to the person you share the class with. One of you will be in control of the lobby. That's the person whose link has been sent out to the parents. And then the second member of staff will also have to join through your lobby, so make sure you remember to let them in at least at the beginning. Okay, I think that's it. They can't see anything on your screen apart from your camera, so you don't need to worry about hiding anything on your computer screen. You're not going to be sharing your screen, I wouldn't imagine. You might want to turn off any annoying beeps that you've got set up for alerts, but other than that, it should be fairly smooth. I think most of us have done live Google Meets by now, and once you're actually in the meeting, apart from pressing the tick to let people in from the lobby, there's no real difference between a Microsoft Teams meeting and a Google Meet. Okay, good luck. If you have any problems before the parents' evening, feel free to give me an email or come find me and I'll go through it with you. Good luck.